Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I just realized that I didn't film an intro or an outro for this, so I'm doing it now while I'm really sick, so pardon all of this. But this is the little swoosh swap that I did just because I thought it would be cute and fun for Valentine's Day. I'm really excited to show you guys how everything turned out and also show you guys how you can do it pretty quickly at home. This whole thing maybe took me an hour altogether, and I probably could have done it faster. I was just kind of watching TV, watching YouTube videos at the same time, but sorry. All right, I'm just gonna get straight into it so you don't have to look at my sick face anymore. Okay, bye. Okay, so you'll see that I have all my materials laid out. I have some barge cement, some little scissors. I have a seam ripper, an X-Acto knife that I actually didn't end up using, and a marking pin. Then, of course, I have the shoes. I'm using these Nike Blazers that are almost all white. They were some 2018 thing that I purchased on the sneakers app. I don't know exactly what they're called, but really you can do this with any Nike shoe where the swoosh is on the outside and it has the leather on it. So to start, I'm going to take out the seam ripper, and I'm starting from the top when I do this because I just want to loosen some of the stitches at the very top so that I can get underneath the swoosh and then I can go from there. That's the easiest way to do it. Take out some of the stitches at the top and then go from there. And there it is, you have your swoosh off. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take the little scissors that I have over there, and sorry I went a little bit out of the frame on this part, but see how all these little strings are out? Those strings I'm gonna just go through and cut off as much as I can so that they don't hang over when I put the new swoosh on. Okay, so next I'm gonna lay out my leather. I'm gonna put the side that I want on the outside of the shoe. I'm gonna put that part face down and just smooth it out as much as I can. Then I'm going to pick up the swooshes that I just cut out and I'm going to place them onto the fabric, and I'm going to use my little pen. I used a little silver pen this time, but you can use any color that's going to show up because remember, this is going to be on the inside portion, so nobody's going to see it. So once I finish that, I'm going to use my scissors again to go through and cut out this little piece of fabric. I tried not to waste too much of it by cutting it out this way. It was just really hard to maneuver without doing this. So, you know, we use scraps. And then, of course, we're going to go through and cut out the actual shape so that we can get ready to put it on the shoe. And there you have it, the cute little swoosh. So all I did right here was just check to make sure that everything looks like it's gonna lay correctly when it goes on the shoe, because you know sometimes you trace stuff and it don't really turn out right, but it looked fine. So randomly I had this nice little red piece of leather, so I wanted to use it in order to kind of make the shoe look a little bit nicer. So I decided to cut hearts out and really make it like Valentine's Day themed so that I could stick it on the top of the tongue. So that's what I'm doing here, using that little silver pin. And ideally I would have flipped over the fabric so that I would be writing on the back of it, but I didn't do that because this was kind of spur of the moment and you know, things happen. So yeah. Next, I'm taking out the barge cement that I have, and I'm also going to take out something to cover my little green mat with so I don't get glue all over everything. And I'm going to take out a little paintbrush too so that I can make sure that I spread the contact cement pretty evenly. Actually, the day after I made these, I took a look at them and I did the hearts with E6000 glue onto the tongue, and I'll show you guys that in a second. And then I used the barge cement for the swoosh. I actually liked the way that the E6000 held a lot better than the barge cement. I think it was maybe just the type of materials or something that I used this time. Normally it works perfectly fine, but this time it was not that strong. So I went over the edges after this video with a little bit of E6000. So I'm going in with the glue, and once I pour it on there, I'm just going to spread it around a little bit with the paintbrush to make sure that everything is nice and even. You don't want a super thick coat of it. It's going to be pretty sticky even if you just do a regular amount. So I'm going to spread that out. So then once I have the swooshes covered in glue, I'm just going to fill in some little spots, do a little bit of touch up where I missed on the outlines of it because it was kind of hard to get everything without really making a mess. And then what I did after, I used the paintbrush and I actually poured the barge cement onto the paintbrush so that I could get right in where the lines from the stitches are on the swoosh on the shoe, so that way I can have them touching both sides of the sticky stuff so it'll stick. Then I walked away and I came back after a little while, after the contact cement had a little bit of time to dry, because you want to leave it for a couple minutes. Honestly, maybe I should have left it longer. I probably should have waited until it wasn't actually sticky to the touch like you're supposed to, and that might be why I had problems. But don't do what I did. Just follow the instructions on the bottle of glue. So then I'm going to do my best to line up the swoosh that I cut out with the swoosh that's on the shoe, that with the little outlines of where it was stitched before. So I want to try to line it up as best as possible. The most important part, well, obviously that it's covering everything, but also you want to make sure that you line up the back so that the back is in the very center. It's going to be a little bit tricky just to get it on there right, but once you have it, it's super easy to just lay everything down and make sure that it dries right. Also, the contact cement is a little bit forgiving too, so if you place it in the wrong place initially, you have time to peel it back up and replace it again. So after I've placed them on the shoe and I think that they look good, I'm just going to go through and smooth the leather out a little bit to make sure that it lays flat on there. And this is where I use the E6000 to glue on my little hearts onto the top of the tongue. And you're going to see too on here that I have little rhinestones on the little, I don't even know what you call it, the little shoelace charmy doodle thing on the front. I ended up not liking it. It doesn't look that bad on camera. I ended up not liking it in person because the reds were a little bit off. It was just not my thing. Didn't love it. So I ended up taking it off, so it's not on the final shoe, but you can see it right here. So I guess I just felt the need to explain. And that is pretty much it. Now you have yourself a cute little shoe with a different swoosh, and you didn't have to sew anything. But I do want to add that I think it looks so good when you do stitch the outsides. The only reason that I did this as a no-sew type of tutorial is because I know not everyone has access to a sewing machine, or not everyone wants to like hand stitch around the swoosh. They just want to make it easy. But if you do have the opportunity to sew around the edges just so that it looks like the original swoosh, it looks really, really cool, and I definitely suggest doing it. Maybe I'll do another tutorial like that, just on like maybe basic sewing and stuff. But yeah, this is what this one is like, and it's still super cute. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I've been doing a lot more like crafty things lately, so I really hope you like it. And if you do, leave me a comment so I can know to do more crafty stuff like that. But like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want. That'd be really cool, and I'll really appreciate it. And follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of shoe pictures. If you're like into shoes, follow me on Instagram. And I do other stuff too. So like, yeah, now I'm just rambling because I'm on some cough medicine right now. I need to go to bed. All right guys, love you. Okay, bye.